News with Gina.
The News with Gina Grad.
Well, TMZ reports that the wife of Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary has been charged with driving their boat carelessly in the fatal boating accident they had last month, but the other driver was also charged with a crime. So TMZ learned that the Ontario Provincial Police, the OPP, charged Linda O'Leary with, quote, careless operation of a vessel. O'Leary's boat was on Lake Joseph August 24th. When it slammed into another boat, it killed 2 passengers.
Oh, she's not down with OPP.
You know her. TMZ says the OPP obtained 5 videos from cameras trained on the lake, and they concluded she was driving 17 miles an hour around 11:30. That was apparently not a safe speed. But they also charged the other driver of the boat as he was allegedly driving without his navigation lights on. Police tell TMZ that Linda's alleged crime carries a max sentence of 18 months in jail, $1 million fine.
Boating is sort of the ATV, 3-wheeler, 4-wheeler on water, which is a sense of safety.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
When there's not really safety.
Yes.
You feel alone if there's boats everywhere.
You feel like, this is I'm in my flip-flops. Like, no one puts a helmet on when they get on a thing. No one's like, hey, be careful. It's a lot of like, hey, crack a beer, put your flip-flops on, play some Jimmy Buffett. They don't really realize that there's a lot of accidents, a lot of banging into each other, and a lot of folks going where they shouldn't go. And it's just this sense, again, when you hop on a dirt bike, a 2-wheeler, and it's like a 250 Honda. It makes a lot of noise, got big knobby tires. It like looks scary. You don't have that sense of you can just sit on it like a 4-wheeler and put your kid on your lap and start puttering around the campsite. And I think the same thing with boats kind of happens with the ATVs, and that you drive them around for a while, sort of safely to normal speed and stuff, or jet skis or ski-doos or sea-doos or that kind of stuff. And then at some point, same with the 4-wheeler around the campsite, you go, let's see if we can pop a little wheelie here. Let's see if we can get into this a little bit. You get this comfort zone real fast, and the next thing you know, you're running into somebody. Remember those professional baseball players that took the boat out on the river and like went over like a low cable or something? Their heads, I don't know, they're beheaded, but they were like severely killed. Yeah.
A few years ago when I was in Pismo Beach, we went dune buggy racing, in those huge dunes, and it's so fun, and it has the roll cages and stuff. You have to sit there through an almost hour lecture about what not to do. And there is a good reason for that, because you go over a hill or you go too fast and that thing just eats shit.
Yeah, there's a sense that when you get into a real race car or motorcycle or dirt bike, there's a kind of respect level. And when you get onto a boat or an ATV, you're like, give me a beer, let's go, And I think that's where the trouble begins.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. Of course, obviously, they're going to fight it. Well, Joker, the movie, is expected to be a box office smash when it opens, but it won't be playing in a particular theater. The movie, which stars Joaquin Phoenix, I think you know where this is going, Brian. Yeah, as the supervillain. It will not be screened at the Century Aurora and the XD Theater in Aurora, Colorado.
I was just thinking about that today.
The site of
what are they going to do?
Yeah, the site of the 2012 mass shooting that left 12 dead, 70 injured. The shooting took place during a screening of The Dark Knight Rises. The theater has since been completely remodeled, but the memory of the tragedy is still very fresh for people. Some people are afraid there's going to be a copycat. They just don't want to screen it.
What? I get it. That's the Joker before Batman, or how does that work? Is that
an origin story of sorts?
This new movie coming out is about the origins of this Joker character, directed by Todd Phillips, director of Old School and The Hangover and a lot of comedy movies. I like when directors break out or stretch out and do a little drama if they're known for comedy or vice versa.
The trailer looks great.
It's a great trailer.
I didn't know Robert De Niro was in this.
Yeah, he plays sort of a Jimmy Kimmel character.
Oh, like a late night host.
Late host. Yeah.
But funny.
Yeah. That's why I said sort of. Right. I said sort of. He didn't play. He's not playing Jake Kimmel.
Let's say Mark Maron at the bottom.
I did not see that, and I'm trying to think of who else.
I'm pretty down with this. It's a sharp-looking trailer, and I'm down to see anything that Joaquin Phoenix does.
It looks interesting. I was looking on Rotten Tomatoes maybe earlier today. think it was at like 76 or something. Not bad, but I thought it was may have been higher. I don't know. I was expecting something off the charts, but it was 76. A little lower. I thought the critics love this kind of stuff. Be curious. Now, this would be curious. This kind of film that I think critics normally like, and 76 certainly isn't low. But there's a lot of superhero stuff that's in the 90s now. So, prediction, Brian, where do the people come down on this? You haven't seen it, obviously.
Oh, I've no way to know. My hunch is that they'll be lower because this is not the Marvel. This is not going to be the Marvel shoot 'em up, big bang action movie they're all used to. This is going to be a dark and gritty and
more of a
maybe
Logan type,
depressing. But not even that action packed. I want it to be kind of depressing, dark look at society. You know what society has created. So I could see this being lower amongst the people.
All right, let me hit
one of the reviews is it's not bad, and that one counted as a fresh review.
Oh, it's kind of weird because at some point somebody has to decipher, because anyone who's done this or been reviewed, like I've gotten reviews where they've been like, I liked it okay. It mostly worked. I just didn't like the end. And then they'll go negative. Yeah. And you're like, well, who decided on that? Like they said it was fair to middling or good enough or whatever. Yeah, some human at some point has to go, which box is that going into? What else we got, Gina Grad?
Well, speaking of all that, Jonah Hill might be facing off against Robert Pattinson's Batman on the big screen. Variety reports that the actor is in talks to join Pattinson's first turn as the superhero in The Batman. The outlet claims Hill is being eyed for a secret role. Sources tell them it's possibly for a villain.
If he's not the Penguin, all bets are off.
Along with Hill, Variety reports Westworld's Jeffrey Wright is in talks to join the movie as Commissioner Gordon, last played by Gary Oldman, of course, in the Christopher Nolan trilogy. But he's lost a lot of weight, Ryan. Jonah Hill.
He could put it on and off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does yo-yo a little bit.
In Wolf of Wall Street, he was pretty pudgy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and in, God, whatever that movie was, an arms dealer.
Oh, yeah.
Lords of War.
War Dogs.
Well, yeah, underrated. It was kind of a fun film. I think he'd put it back on for that. I think he's got no problem with that.
Well, with Halloween only about a month away, new costume ideas are coming out, some worse than others. I pulled 3 that have been in the headlines and would love to get your take.
Who's on the Mount Rushmore of lost and gained more weight if you not in one sitting or one outing, like the perennial all-stars Oprah.
Sure,
right?
Are we going?
You got your Marlon Brando, you got your Oprah.
It's collective. Yeah, Marlon Brando was thin, and then he got fat.
Oh,
but you got to go back down again.
Gotcha.
And you drop 30. We'll add 30 to your total. You go back up. You drop 30 again. Now you're at 60.
Are we talking like De Niro? Because like De Niro.
No, De Niro did it once. Or 1.5 times, or whatever. Okay. It's a whole collection.
No, he did Al Capone, for the Untouchables.
Oh, you can pick him. I think you're better off with like a Vince Vaughn, who's put on some, or Jon Favreau or something. Okay. Now John's just big, but I mean, John has been big. John's been fit. Vince Vaughn's been up. Vince Vaughn's been down.
I feel like I'm going to have to convince you of this, but Christian Bale is on that Mount Rushmore. He went for The Machinist. He went all the way down.
He went the extreme the other way.
Batman, he went up to big and buff. For American Psycho, big and buff. He went fat for the Vice. You know what I mean? And for American Hustle, he is all over the place.
I agree. But I'm wondering if the ones who do it are the quiet ones who just sort of do it in their life. Well, you know what I mean? Like they just kind of go up 20 pounds and then they get fit to make a movie and they drop the 20 and then they go back up to their playing weight again. Like Favreau did that for about a decade where he just kind of, he wasn't gaining weight for a role or even really losing weight for a role. He just would get big and then we get down. Trying to think.
Let's not forget the unsung heroes, like your Kirstie Allies and your spokesman for Jenny Craig's and Weight Watchers.
I don't feel like they just go up, stay up for a while, drop down for a few bucks, and then go back up again. This is like a constant, Jonah Hill. And again, like a dude like Vince Vaughn can carry 240 pounds. Right. He's like a big dude. And then he can get down to 210 or 205, whatever. I'm talking about just like Jonah Hill, I figure, like, just been doing this for the last. Wow. There's a little Seth MacFarlane who did it. He was up, he was a little heavier, and then he kind of went down again, but he kind of stayed there. Let's trying to think of who went up and down. And I think the winners are going to be the guys who go up and down 25 pounds 25 times. Yeah. You know what I mean? Versus the big roll and down. But Jonah...
Christian Bale might be the one to beat on the male side. Oprah, of course, is the paradigm.
Yeah, but I don't I don't feel like Christian does it for his roles.
Oh, you're saying just as a lifestyle.
I'm just talking about like how many times, how much you've been up 10 and down 10 and up 10 and down 10.
What about athletes? What about baseball players?
I'll put them in there, but they usually just get fat. They're fit and then they retire and they get fat and they don't yo-yo as much.
Okay.
Christian definitely for the acting role.
Right. Well, I did pull some Halloween costumes that you'll...
Well, I'll ask him on the first when we're chilling over at the Peterson. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
A couple of costumes that are going to be seen, whether you like them or not. The first one, the Beyond Burger costume. That's for women. Mm-hmm. It's a skin-tight dress that looks like a burger, but it has a little headband on top that says plant-based. That's how you know it's a Beyond Burger.
Not a costume.
Number 2, then you're going to hate this one. You familiar with White Claw? That's
taking the nation by storm.
Spiked, sparkling water. It's like a LaCroix, but you get drunk.
Oh, that, right.
Those are being sold as costumes when they look just like a simple skin-tight dress. They come in 4 flavors.
Why is White Claw so popular? It's just vodka soda.
Because it's so basic, bitch. And there's so many basic bitches.
Because everyone wants to lose weight and everyone wants to get drunk.
Right, but it's just vodka soda.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
And finally, the most disturbing costume any of us are going to see this year. Sexy Mr. Rogers. This is a girl in a tiny little red cardigan crop top with little stripper tie. No.
She looks hot, but...
Stripper tie and collar, hot pants.
Listen, you guys tell me. If you have to add accoutrements to sell your costume, then that's a bad costume. Like if you
King Friday and Daniel Tiger.
Yeah, she's got the tiger puppet and King Friday puppet. But
I like those accessories.
No, you like them, but if you just walked into the party as is,
minus the accessories,
yeah, like I don't know who you are.
Sexy school teacher, I don't know.
Yeah, what that is. Slutty librarian.
You look hot, but this is not doing it.
Yeah, but isn't there like? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I got a 4-year-old in the house now, but there's something about that girl holding those puppets that really is nightmare fuel. It's not cool to mix those together.
It's something else fuel.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
you all can look forward to that.
She's pretty, what we're looking at. But again, it's not Mr. Rogers didn't wear hot pants.
No, he did not.
And a
Rarely.
crop shirt.
There was that one
Almost
lost episode.
Never.
Right.
Well, Miley Cyrus's iHeartRadio set in Vegas nearly took a dark turn due to a lot of cops trying to thwart a guy who was trying to get her pregnant. According to him, law enforcement sources told TMZ that cops were called to T-Mobile Arena Saturday after Miley's security team noticed 42-year-old David Rumsey in the audience. Apparently, Rumsey was on their watch list because he'd allegedly made previous threats against Miley. Sources say he told Miley's team, quote, "It's my life's mission to impregnate Miley." TMZ has told the gut, no, Brian. Claimed he was going to raise Michael Jackson and Prince from the dead so they could party with him and Miley together. After being detained by Miley's security team, Rumsey was arrested and booked into Clark County Jail on a felony charge of making threats. He's still in custody.
I don't know if you guys are with me on this, but I'm not attracted to this sort of wild girl. Like her thing, like she was always sticking her tongue out and doing like the devil horns and stuff. It always feels, I don't know, unattractive to me. I file it under tattoos or like too many tattoos.
Does it feel forced?
It kind of feels a little forced. It's also kind of the opposite of femininity. Like it feels like, oh, I'm dating a teenage dude. Like this dude's wild. Like it I don't know, aggressive or something. Yeah, it always
feels like women submissive.
Yes, quiet. Yes,
more of a geisha.
I do. I there's like it's like nose piercings, the hoop in the nose. I'm always kind of like I don't find that attractive. Yeah. The hoop in the lip, the stud in the tongue. Although that's ringing the dinner bell for the BJs, but
you don't like the Harley Quinns.
I always felt like tats and aggressive piercings and stuff. It fell under the, I don't know. It's sort of like big nails, and she doesn't do big nails, but I just mean she has this kind of wild child thing, and I don't find it attractive.
That's going to break her heart.
I'm sure she's going to be
Bad news, Miley.
she's going to be devastated.
Yeah.
On the other hand, who do we like from Austin Powers with the English accent?
Liz Hurley?
Like a Liz Hurley. That's much more my speed.
But she's the picture of femininity.
Because
We got to update your reference.
snapping stuff onto you or getting inked up or something like that. It just doesn't. I just feel like every once in a while, you ever see a Corvette, like a mid 90s or early 2000s Corvette, right? And you see the Corvette and you see the person has stuck a bunch of aftermarket sort of junk on it, like a weird thing to go around the bezel and the rear tail lights and exhaust tips. And it looks just sort of like they took this car, which was fine, and they tacked stuff onto it. And it always hurts the car. The car actually looks better in its sort of natural form.
Right. But you think that about dudes too, though, right?
Yes. Like I have ponytails and earrings and tats, and just sort of tacking stuff on always feels weird. Like, hey, if you got some cool glasses or you do something interesting with your hair or fashion or whatever, I'm all for it. But I always feel like the accessorizing your body or tacking things on
hurts the market value.
Again, I love a Ferrari, but you will see cars that are basic cars with a bunch of junk stuck onto them, and it actually looks worse than when they were just bone stock.
Well, that's why they say you don't put a lower back tattoo on, because you don't put a bumper sticker on a Cadillac.
That's right. Did Dolly say that?
She should have.
Is she in Kentucky?
No, she's in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Oh,
so the Great Smoky Mountains are her
something
people.
About Dollywood when I was over there.
Excuse me, you didn't say anything?
I was trying to figure out, like, where is she? Anyway, Miley, attractive? Are we attracted to her?
It's funny because everything you described is 100% right. I'm not into that whole the aggressive, the whatever. It just feels like a put on. Miley Cyrus is weirdly sexual to me, like sexy. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't check any box, but I find her sort of attractive in a weird way. I don't know what it is.
She's definitely not unattractive.
Not traditionally attractive.
And if I saw her in person, I might change my mind. And I definitely find her to be, above average, but I'm not.
That's
a little off-putting for me.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Max Pat and Miley?
Yeah, I'd tap that.
Well, obviously.
Lucky Miley.
But...
Good news, Miley.
Is it your thing,
Anything after the Corolla news?
Trying to think of what other pop stars we're talking about.
Okay, so I got the staff poll. Matt and I are yes. Everyone else is no. Gary used to be before she got wild.
Wait, when she was like 12?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So I think that the two sides of that spectrum in femininity would be, in pop singers, would be Miley Cyrus and Ariana Grande.
Yeah, I'll toss a younger Jessica Simpson on there, like the Dukes of Hazzard era.
Well, sure.
I'd
tap that.
Okay, glad you would.
I'm going to offer a replacement for your Liz Hurley, an update for your Liz Hurley. Ironically, Gina mentioned Harley Quinn, the sort of tattooed crazy girl with the hair. Margot Robbie.
Oh, yeah. But too easy. She's so spectacular.
Yes, of course it's too easy. She's gorgeous. She's a specimen.
No, you know why? I feel like she's spectacular, and I sometimes feel like blonde is cheating. I feel like I should take a little
right, Gina?
little deeper dive than that. That's why I like the Liz.
What about,
but I'll think of someone new.
I don't know if she's exactly the equivalent, but for some reason she just jumped to my mind. Emily Ratajkowski.
Yes.
That kind of vibe. You know her the second you see her.
I know she is.
I'm getting a lot of thumbs up.
Married to somebody.
I don't know if she was. She was in the Robin Thicke video.
Yeah,
that's how she got famous.
She just got divorced
from
somebody famous and is now doing something. I don't know, but yes, you are correct with her. Who got divorced from Emily Ratajkowski? Which is. What's his name?
Sebastian?
No. What's his name? Just got divorced from her. Isn't it? Wait a minute. Oh, God. What's his name from...
Her ex-boyfriend is Jared Majid?
No. Who's she married to? Is she married to somebody?
Yeah, a guy named Sebastian Bear McClard.
Oh. Well, then who am I thinking of? Who was married... Yes, she's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Who was married to...
Chris confirms.
What's his name from A Star Is Born? Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Oh, it was, yeah. It wasn't right.
Yeah, somebody else's
Another
ex. Yes.
smoking hot brunette. Sort of cut out of the same cloth as Emily Ratajkowski, but another super hot, like sort of.
Irina Shayk.
Maybe it was her. Yeah,
whose ex is that?
Oh boy, Chris.
That's a famous person's ex.
Work.
That's the point.
All right, yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player, and then Bradley Cooper. Yeah, they're both spectacular brunettes. I think safe to say.
Well, Six Flags America is looking for couples who are willing to be buried alive together from September 27th to the 28th at its Maryland park. So couples who last all the way to the end of the Fright Fest 30-hour couples coffin challenge will be rewarded with $600, full access to the park's Halloween celebration, and a pair of gold season passes for next year.
Why? I've gotten into this stuff with people before. Where if I was sitting on the advisory board, I'd go, "Look, give them $1,000. $600 seems weird.
It's odd.
Is it 666 like the devil, or
that's good?
No.
Or
that'd be good.
Go $500. 6 is random and weird.
Yeah.
It seems like we're cheap.
It seems like that's all you could scrape together.
Right.
So participants in the challenge will be allowed short breaks to eat and go to the bathroom, but anyone who leaves outside of those times is disqualified. And there's a catch. Not only will you be in close quarters, obviously, the entire time, you have to give up all your devices. So no social media, no news, no texting, no music, no podcast, nothing.
Will you be in coffins?
You sit there and you stare at each other in what I imagine is a double wide coffin.
All right. Can we fix this thing? Because now these Not Scary Farm commercials are popping up at like 6:30, 7 in the evening.
They're meant to terrify.
They done and done. They're evidently there's no regulation of these commercials, so it's like you're just watching a commercial for like a Pete Ellis Dodge, and then this comes on, the crazy clown dentist. And it freaks you out. Now look, here's the way your mind works: image inserted into brain. What are our choices? It's there. So you just sit there and you're like, oh God, Jesus Christ. And then they're not doing the old timey, he's dressed like the devil.
Yeah.
He's chasing someone with a pitchfork.
Got a sheet over him.
This is weird Rob Zombie stuff.
A lot of insane escapees.
It's very disturbing imagery. If you're a 9-year-old kid and you're watching TV, you're going to be freaked the fuck out. It just hits you. There is no ramp up to it. They don't give you a chance to kind of turn off or turn away. It's just the craziest
screaming butchers,
and clowns, and this isn't even a good example of it, Max Patty. You find one that's better.
But like you said, a little kid just like playing with their Legos in front of the TV sees that.
Right. Meanwhile, but here are the rules. You just turn on and see crazy clown dentist with the holding pliers with a bloody tooth in it. That's just game on. The next commercial, we're celebrating Modelo beer, but we can only show the people toast.
Yeah.
You can't
drink up
couldn't
beer,
show them
no.
take
That's
a sip.
irresponsible.
You can crack. You can tell the guys are talking. They're going over their old war stories, and at some point they toast. But there's a federal regulation against seeing the person consume the product that they purchased.
Kids could have nightmares seeing someone drink a Corona.
This thing of like.
Kids got to grow up sometime.
What if we just put Martinelli sparkling cider in the Modelo bottle? Could we sip? No. We can't show them drink the beer. That's a rule. Whose rule? Our rule.
Yeah.
Who made this rule? What would happen? What other product are you not allowed to use?
I looked this up recently. I'm pretty sure it's a self-imposed rule at this point.
It's all self-imposed.
It was like a carryover from like the 50s and 60s when you couldn't show that. But now there's just sort of like a self-policing, like, we won't do it. Well, what year is it?
You deal with a network, and they're like, "Well, you're doing a sitcom." Okay. You could have a guy hold a cigarette, but it can't be lit. You could have a guy hold a cigarette that was lit, but he couldn't. He could have a lit cigarette, but he can't smoke it. He can have a lit cigarette, or he can hold a cigarette pack. Or if he's holding a lit cigarette, he has to say something negative about cigarettes. Like, these things will kill you. And then show a picture of an infected lung. It's like...
But the filter's toasted.
Or people could smoke because it's a construction site. And people could have a beer.
It's a depiction of real life.
Because they're at a bar. And they've purchased beer where people drink at a bar. And so I don't know exactly whom this would affect if you showed them actually take a sip off the bottle. Sometimes they'll like toast and start to bring it to the face. It's like, put a hard cut. See how many frames we can get in before it actually touches his lips. But then it's right to crazy clown dentist.
Yeah. And speaking of,
what is it? Like, what year is it? What's our rules? Who does this? And here's what I would say to Modelo or anybody else. Just fucking do a commercial where the person drinks it. Let the chips fall where they may. See if the feds show up the next day and kick your door into your fucking factory. You know why? Because nothing ever happens. They just go on. There's no complaint letters. The feds do nothing. The ATF doesn't show up. There's nothing. And what statute or guideline? How is it? You tell me the rule you broke it. It's weird. All the weird self-imposed stuff.
It would probably get attention, too, like social media. Like, this too hot for TV. They drank a beer. You know what I mean? Like, it would become a thing.
Beer.
Makes me want to see more Schmidt's Gay commercials. Another thing you can't do on SNL anymore.
Oh, we have another commercial where
if you got a big thirst and you're gay.
Schmidt's Gay.
I hate this music. No way. If you're 9 and you're if you're 9 and you're watching that shit, you just plots yourself and had a bad dream that night. And they run that shit in the middle of the day. They run that shit at 6 p.m. Yeah, that's no good.
I have no idea what any rules are anymore. I don't even know why we have rules and why they don't apply to this and why do we impose them on ourselves. I have no fucking idea what's going on. Scary, crazy clown versus firefighters taking a sip off of Modelo. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. We're so weird. I mean, I'm sure if you went to other places that, like, well, we follow Sharia law, I'm sure you could find dumber than us. But this is an atheist approach. Like, we're supposed to just be pragmatic.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, we're fucking idiots.
In I think the early 50s, maybe it was the late 40s, there was a commercial in Chicago with Lark cigarettes, and the thing was show us your Larks, and they would do random, people on the street. And my grandmother was in one of the commercials and says, show us your Larks. And my grandmother turns around, she was a 3-pack-a-day smoker. It was a charming yesteryear.
Yeah. I miss it.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more, Gina Grant.
All right. Well, this has been a movie-heavy day, so we'll close out with some Tom Hanks. His 40-year career and his incredible body of work will earn him the Cecil B. DeMille Award.
Body of work. He he had some fluctuations.
Yeah, Castaway really went down.
And also, just kind of naturally.
Just kind of in life.
Like he got a little bigger for like Green Mile. Yeah. Well, no, it got bigger, but he was a little bigger.
He gets bigger, he gets smaller. Like, I think that's
he's in the
him.
running. Or he's not running. That'll be at the Golden Globes on January 5th. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association says, quote, for more than 3 decades, he's captivated audiences with rich and playful characters that we've grown to love and admire. Hanks has appeared in more than 80 movies, obviously including Big and Sleepless in Seattle, Forrest Gump, Castaway, Philadelphia, lent his voice to the role of Woody in Toy Story, and he joins a list of honorees like Oprah Winfrey, Meryl Streep, Morgan Freeman, Robert De Niro, and Steven Spielberg. And of course, he will be playing Mr. Rogers in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. That comes out in November.
Yeah, I don't feel like we need that movie.
I agree.
Also, Hanks, Bile Account's one of the good ones, and so we wish him well. Seems like a waste of Hanks, that movie.
Agreed.
And also, he got a really good doc.
And after
Who
the
knows?
doc,
We'll be surprised.
What more are we going to learn about this man after the fantastic documentary that came out?
A beautiful documentary.
I have no GD idea. But
it's coming out whether you like it or not.
When is that coming out?
November for the holidays.
Award season.
Yeah.
Award season. Yeah, it's coming.
Somehow, for a multiple Oscar-winning actor, underrated. I don't think Tom Hanks is this great thespian, but he's a fantastic actor.
Are people underrating Tom Hanks?
I'm just he doesn't get brought up with the great actors. You know what I mean? But he's won 2 Oscars, been nominated for however many more. He's really great.
He's underrated because he had a TV career to begin with, and we kind of got to know him a little bit.
A la Bosom Buddies.
And then
that was back in the day. It was hard to cross over from TV.
He plays he plays a lot of roles like That Thing You Do, where he's that dude. He's a kind of a regular guy,
right?
And he does regular guys so well that it doesn't feel that interesting.
Like he's stretching.
Yeah, it doesn't. He can do whatever he wants, but he plays comfortable in his own skin guy the best, and so we sort of deduct points for that. We give more to Christian Bale than we do to him because
Yeah.
those Daniel Day-Lewis do that guy. He does the comfortable guy.
That's right. It's funny because the only role I can think of Tom Hanks that he actually had to not play himself was Big. He had to play a kid, and that's the stretch.
And he was great in that.
He was amazing in that.
Really great.
I think the punt, pass, and kick competition of this should be host of SNL.
He was in the Five Towers Club.
Yep,
They had the
Baldwin
sketch.
and-
That's
Right. And what I'm saying is I'm saying punt, pass, and kick competition because I don't, what I'm trying to think of, like whatever. First off, a lot of it is the director, depending on what movie you're doing. But this is just same cast, same director, same writer, same group, and then you show up,
Plugging you in.
and you're playing all these different things, and you're doing a monologue, and it's on the fly. There's not a lot of prep time, and some people hit it out of the ballpark, and other people not so much.
Yep.
And I think in a way, to put somebody up in the pantheon of great actors, you'd have to say great appearances on SNL.
You have to conquer that hill. Oh, Gina, lest
Yeah.
we forget, you mentioned Tom Hanks' range. One of our favorites, Cloud Atlas.
That's
he played
right.
6 characters.
That is absolutely a dead-on great call. Yeah.
Did
a lot
not
of people
see
hated
it
that
yet.
movie.
Should I see it?
Hard to say. Brian and I love Vanilla Sky and Cloud Atlas. So
All
it
right.
depends
Should
if
I
you're into
see
that.
Cloud Atlas first or Bone Tomahawk?
Bone Tomahawk.
Not Cloud Atlas.
I don't think he's going to sit through Cloud Atlas.
I'm in the minority of guys who didn't like Bone Tomahawk, but that movie's like 85% of Rotten Tomatoes. It's like people love it.
Bone Tomahawk sucked.
I don't like
I
it.
tried about 20 minutes of it.
I'm in the
and
minority,
it just didn't work out for me.
I don't like it.
Why do guys love it?
Because it's
It's
gory.
genre bending,
A lot of
and
people
you know what I
think
mean?
it's a Western.
Yeah, it's throwback genre bending, kind of neo.
Do the people, is it one of those people have it lower? Like, so Cloud Atlas and
I
Bone
would be
Tomahawk, where the
100%
people
sure.
have it? 100% sure that the people have it lower.
I'm going to say 85 for the critics, 65 for the audience.
Cloud Atlas.
No. I'm
No,
talking
I know.
About,
Now
oh,
I'm
no,
on
Cloud
to
Atlas was killed by the critics.
They
It's probably
hated
like
it.
45%.
But what about the people?
Probably about the same.
Okay.
But
All
it's
right.
a really
I'll let you look that
excellent
up.
experimental.
What do we got with the Bone Tomahawk?
Put it up right now. This is Bone Tomahawk. Critics 91, audience 73.
It's actually almost right with the 20% difference.
Right.
And then a Cloud Atlas, both at 66.
Wow.
So I was higher than I thought, but I said we'd be at the same.
It is, and it's fresh. It's 66.
I'm really glad to see that. This is like a 2.5 hour movie. It's ambitious. It's long. It's 6 different stories.
It's an odyssey.
but
it's epic.
It will dazzle you.